What if I told you that millions of men are drinking beet juice every single day thinking they're doing everything right, but they're actually leaving half the benefit on the table? Stay with me, because what I'm about to share with you could genuinely change the way your body circulates blood, and it comes down to one simple ingredient most people never think to add. My name is Dr. Adrian Cole, and as a urologist, I spend my days studying how blood flow affects everything, from heart health and kidney function to sexual performance and energy levels. And I can tell you right now, the research on this combination we're going to talk about today genuinely surprised even me. So if you care about your cardiovascular health, your stamina, or just feeling more alive every single day, you need to hear this. Let's start with beet juice, because I want to make sure you understand why this vegetable is so extraordinary before we get to the secret ingredient. Beets are one of the richest natural sources of something called dietary nitrates. When you consume those nitrates, your body converts them into nitric oxide. And nitric oxide is essentially your blood vessel's best friend. It signals the smooth muscle lining of your arteries to relax and widen. That widening is called vasodilation. And when your vessels dilate, blood moves more freely, oxygen gets delivered more efficiently, and your organs, all of them, function at a higher level. Studies have shown that drinking beet juice can lower blood pressure by several points within just a few hours. That's not a supplement company telling you that. That's peer-reviewed science. So yes, beet juice is powerful on its own. But here's the problem, and this is where most people stop reading, stop watching, stop paying attention, and they miss everything. The nitrates in beet juice need specific oral bacteria to begin that conversion process into nitric oxide. And modern life is absolutely destroying those bacteria. Antibacterial mouthwash, which about 70% of Americans use daily, wipes out the very bacteria responsible for activating beet juice's benefits. Processed foods, chronic dehydration, even some medications, they all compromise that oral microbiome. So you could be drinking beet juice every morning and getting maybe 40 or 50% of what it's actually capable of doing. Now imagine doubling that. That's not an exaggeration. That's what the research points to when you combine beet juice with the right co-ingredient. So what is it? It's L-citrulline. And before you scroll away thinking this sounds like some obscure supplement, let me explain exactly what it is and why the science behind this pairing is so compelling. L-citrulline is a natural amino acid. Your body actually produces small amounts of it on its own, and it's found in foods like watermelon. What makes it remarkable is what happens inside your body after you consume it. L-citrulline gets converted in your kidneys into another amino acid called L-arginine, which then serves as the direct building block for, you guessed it, nitric oxide. So while beet juice is feeding nitric oxide production through one pathway, L-citrulline is feeding it through a completely separate pathway simultaneously. 2 lanes of traffic instead of one. That's why researchers started looking at them together, and what they found was genuinely exciting. A study published in the journal Nutrients examined the combined effect of nitrate-rich foods and L-citrulline supplementation on exercise performance and blood flow markers. Participants who used both together showed significantly greater improvements in blood flow velocity and oxygen uptake compared to either intervention alone. Another piece of research looked specifically at men experiencing mild to moderate erectile dysfunction, which, by the way, is almost always a blood flow problem before it becomes anything else, and found that L-citrulline supplementation improved erection hardness scores in a meaningful way. Why does that matter beyond the obvious? Because erectile dysfunction is one of the earliest warning signs of cardiovascular disease. The blood vessels in that region are smaller, and they show dysfunction first. So if blood flow is compromised there, it's often compromised elsewhere in the body too. Improving circulation systemically benefits your heart, your brain, your muscles, everything downstream. Now let me tell you practically how to use this combination, because information without application is just noise. You want to start with about 8 ounces of fresh beet juice. Cold pressed is ideal if you can find it, but even store-bought with no added sugar works. To that, add between 1.5 to 3 grams of L-citrulline powder. It's flavorless, it dissolves easily, and it's widely available. The optimal time to take this is about 45 to 60 minutes before any physical activity, whether that's a workout, a long walk, or even a demanding day at work. If you're using it for general cardiovascular support rather than performance, morning on an empty stomach works very well. Your blood vessels are primed to respond, and the nitric oxide boost carries you through the first several hours of your day. One thing I want to address, because I hear this question constantly, is this safe? For the vast majority of healthy adults, yes, absolutely. L-citrulline has an excellent safety profile, even at doses several times higher than what I just recommended. Beet juice is food. There are no significant drug interactions for most people. The one exception I'll flag clearly is anyone taking nitrate-based medications. particularly medications for heart conditions or erectile dysfunction like sildenafil or tadalafil. Combining those with high-dose nitrate foods and L-citrulline could drop your blood pressure too dramatically, and that's dangerous. If you're on any prescription medications, please have a conversation with your doctor before adding this protocol. That's not me being overly cautious. That's just responsible medicine. For everyone else, I also want to mention a few things you can do to maximize the beet and citrulline combination. Stop using antibacterial mouthwash, or at minimum, use it only at night and not right before you drink your beet juice. Chew your food thoroughly and stay hydrated, because saliva production supports that nitrate-converting bacterial environment in your mouth. And get sunlight on your skin when you can. Ultraviolet light actually stimulates nitric oxide release directly through the skin, giving you a third simultaneous pathway working in your favor. The bigger picture here is that we are living in an era where cardiovascular disease is still the #1 killer of both men and women in the United States, and so much of it comes down to the slow, silent degradation of blood vessel health over decades. The vessels stiffen, the nitric oxide production drops, blood pressure creeps up, energy fades, cognition softens, and most people don't connect those dots until something serious happens. But you don't have to wait for a diagnosis to start taking your vascular health seriously. Small, science-backed habits compound over time in a way that no single medication can replicate. This combination, beet juice and L-citrulline, is one of the most cost-effective, accessible, evidence-supported things you can do for your blood flow right now. Not next month. Not after you get your labs done, right now. 8 ounces, 1.5 grams, 45 minutes before your morning. That's it. Your arteries will thank you, your energy will reflect it, and over time your body will show you what it looks like when circulation is genuinely optimized. If this was helpful, please hit that like button. It genuinely helps this channel reach more people who need this information. Subscribe if you haven't already, because every week I bring you research-backed insights from a clinician's perspective with zero fluff. And drop a comment below. I want to know if you've tried beet juice before, and whether you've ever heard of L-citrulline. I read every single comment. I'll see you in the next one.